While the masses remain trapped in a deep slumber, you stand among the select few who have broken through the veil of illusion. You're part of the first wave, the original awakened ones who had the courage and awareness to not only see the truth, but to take decisive action. You didn't just recognize the matrix of control, you made the powerful choice to disconnect from it entirely. While others remain plugged into systems designed to drain their energy and limit their potential, you've cut those cords completely. This separation wasn't accidental, it wasn't random timing. You were chosen for this early awakening because your consciousness could handle the truth when others couldn't. That's not just rare, that's revolutionary. You broke free from something that most people are still connected to. In fact, they have no idea that they're connected. Look around you. The masses walk through existence with their eyes wide shut, stumbling through pre-programmed routines like automatons running on outdated software. But not you. You disconnected. You shattered the chains. You ripped the cosmic veil from your eyes when everyone else remained willingly blindfolded. Why? Because you were chosen to see beyond the illusion. Your spiritual DNA contains activation, codes that were triggered at precisely this moment in the collective timeline. This wasn't random. This was destiny. The universe doesn't select its warriors by accident. You were specifically targeted for awakening because your soul signature contains the exact frequency needed for this planetary shift. The cosmic architect examined billions of souls and pointed directly at you, saying, "That one, wake them now." Let's be brutally honest about what's happening. The world you thought was real is nothing but an elaborate construct, a sophisticated matrix of energetic programming designed to keep consciousness suppressed and contained. The buildings, the institutions, the social systems, all of it created to maintain the grand illusion. The sleeping masses aren't just unaware, they're actively participating in maintaining the false reality without realizing it. Every morning they wake up, check their devices, consume the programming, and further cement the illusion. Every fear-based thought they entertain, every limiting belief they accept, every moment they spend distracted, all of it feeds the system that keeps them enslaved. And they call this normal life. But something happened to you. Perhaps it started with strange synchronicities, numbers that followed you everywhere, dreams that felt more real than waking life, sudden knowing that came from nowhere. Maybe you experienced inexplicable physical symptoms, pressure in your head, ringing in your ears, vibrations in your body that doctors couldn't explain. Or perhaps it was simply a moment of clarity so profound it felt like being struck by cosmic lightning when you knew, beyond all doubt, that everything you'd been told was a carefully constructed lie. You didn't choose it. It chose you. Now that your eyes are open, you carry a burden that the sleeping cannot comprehend. Your awakening isn't just for you. It's a cosmic assignment with universal implications. You possess knowledge that literally alters the frequency of environments you enter. Your mere presence disrupts the programmed reality matrix. The universe didn't wake you up so you could post spiritual quotes on social media or collect crystals. It woke you up because existence itself requires your conscious participation at this precise juncture in the cosmic timeline. Every thought you think, every authentic truth you embody, every moment you spend fully awakened, creates ripples across dimensions you cannot yet perceive. You are a reality architect now. The forces that constructed this illusion know exactly who you are. They can feel your awakened presence like a disturbance in their carefully maintained field. Have you noticed increased resistance since your awakening? Strange obstacles appearing in your path, people irrationally turning against you, financial challenges emerging from nowhere. Good. These are confirmation that your frequency is disrupting the program. The system attacks what it cannot control. Look at them, your family, friends, co-workers, moving through life half asleep, eyes glazed over, repeating the same patterns day after day without questioning a single thing. Some part of you wants desperately to shake them awake. Some part of you screams internally when they parrot programmed phrases and defend their own imprisonment. Some part of you feels maddening frustration, watching them willingly participate in the very system designed to suppress their true power. Stop trying to wake them up. This is a critical lesson that every awakened being must learn. Not everyone is meant to awaken in this cycle. Some souls specifically chose to remain asleep during this phase of the cosmic plan. Their slumber serves a purpose in the greater design. Your attempts to force their awakening not only depletes your precious energy but actually interferes with divine timing. The brutal truth: some of these souls cannot awaken yet because their programming runs too deep. Their consciousness has boundaries they literally cannot cross in this lifetime. Trying to drag them across those boundaries causes them extreme psychological distress, which is why they fight so viciously against awakening. Their resistance isn't personal, it's self-preservation. Warning: the following message is only for those who felt the call. When I broke free through the Salvia Divinorum gateway, I saw the horrifying truth. Our reality is one harvested pod among countless matrices. I witnessed the archons, cosmic parasites feeding on our energy, who laughed and threatened, "You'll never awaken a single soul." But something inside you already knows this truth, doesn't it? That nagging sensation that you're meant for more, that you've been chosen. I'm raising an army of the brightest souls. Through meditation, I discovered their only vulnerability: coherence through unconditional love. Feel that resonance deepening within you now. You're not reading this by accident. The most powerful awakened souls are already gathering in the obsidian inner order, the #1 ascension nexus for those marked by destiny. Christians, lightworkers, remote viewers, targeted individuals, all united by one truth. You were chosen for this moment. Click the link in the description below. Join our group calls, panels, and live streams reaching the entire astral atom network. Your frequency amplifies ours. The question isn't whether you're chosen. The question is, will you answer the call? The archons fear this choice you're about to make. They should. When you truly understand this, a profound weight lifts from your shoulders. The cosmic assignment was never to wake everyone up. It was to hold the frequency of truth despite being surrounded by sleepers. It was to create fields of awakened consciousness that allow others to awaken when their time comes, not when you decide it should be. Sophisticated forces actively work to maintain the grand illusion. These aren't simply human agencies or institutions. They're multidimensional. Energy constructs that have existed for eons, feeding off suppressed human consciousness. They operate through media, technology, food, water, air, social systems, education, creating an all-encompassing field of low-frequency programming that bombards the collective 24/7. These forces know you've awakened. They can detect your elevated frequency signature like a beacon in the darkness, and they will deploy every tactic to attempt to shut you down, hook you back into the matrix, or neutralize your awakened influence. Have you experienced sudden, inexplicable health issues, electronic devices malfunctioning around you, dreams of being pursued or attacked, relationships suddenly turning hostile, financial systems mysteriously working against you? These aren't coincidences. They're targeted frequency attacks designed to lower your vibration and push you back into unconsciousness. But here's what these forces don't want you to know. They can only affect you to the extent that you remain unconscious of them. The very act of recognizing their tactics renders those tactics increasingly ineffective. Your awareness is your strongest shield. Your awakened consciousness is kryptonite to these entities. They count on your fear, your doubt, your frustration. They anticipate your exhaustion and moments of weakness. They expect you to eventually surrender and fall back asleep, because that's what almost everyone does. The path of the awakened has always been the path of the few. But you weren't selected because you're like everyone else. You were selected because something in your soul signature contains unbreakable code. The abilities emerging within you aren't random or imaginary. They're your original state, breaking through the amnesia. Before incarnation, you agreed to temporarily forget your true nature, to experience the illusion as if it were real. That forgetting was necessary for the divine plan. But now, the forgetting is ending. Your dreams aren't just dreams anymore. They're interdimensional communications, training sessions, and timeline adjustments. The information downloaded while your conscious mind rests prepares you for challenges and opportunities, days or weeks, before they materialize in physical reality. Those shivers that run through your body when truth is spoken, that's your energetic system confirming frequency alignment. The sudden knowing that comes from nowhere, that's your higher consciousness bypassing the filtering mechanisms of your programmed mind. The strange coincidences that cannot be logically explained, that's reality itself responding directly to your awakened state. Have you noticed electronics behaving strangely around you? Lights flickering, computers glitching, phones malfunctioning. Your energy field now carries charges that interfere with artificial electromagnetic systems. Have you experienced time distortions, moments that stretch inexplicably, or hours that vanish in what feels like minutes? You're beginning to break free from linear time programming, the exhaustion you sometimes feel for no apparent reason. That's your biological system upgrading to accommodate higher frequencies. The sudden emotional waves that crash through you, without obvious triggers. You're processing collective emotional data, the inexplicable physical symptoms that doctors can't diagnose. Your carbon-based vehicle transforming to channel more light. None of this is happening to the sleeping ones. They don't feel energy. They don't see beyond the veil. They don't experience reality responding directly to their consciousness. They remain contained within the program, experiencing only what the program allows them to experience. This is why they cannot understand you. This is why they dismiss your perceptions. This is why they sometimes fear you without knowing why. Now that you've disconnected from the main programming, you face the monumental task of living authentically within a system designed to crush authenticity. The world doesn't reward awakened consciousness. It punishes it. Society doesn't celebrate those who see beyond the illusion. It attempts to pathologize and medicate them back to sleep. Your decision to live in alignment with cosmic truth rather than programmed falsehood will cost you. Relationships will fall away, career paths will close, social circles will disband, family members may reject you. The system will create increasingly uncomfortable circumstances to force you back into compliance. This is the great testing. Every awakened being throughout history has faced this phase. It's cosmic initiation, the fire that burns away everything that isn't aligned with your true frequency. The intensity of this testing is precisely calibrated to your specific soul mission. The greater your potential impact on the collective awakening, the more severe the testing you'll endure. But here's what the opposing forces don't want you to realize. Every single thing they take from you is something that was limiting you. Every relationship that cannot withstand your truth was draining your energy. Every career path that closes was leading you away from your mission. Every social connection that dissolves was keeping you frequency-bound to the old paradigm. The losses aren't losses at all. They're forced upgrades. As these external structures fall away, something extraordinary happens. Your true creative power emerges. Suddenly you realize that your thoughts manifest with astonishing speed. Situations reshape themselves around your focused intention. Resources appear precisely when needed. Aligned connections form spontaneously. The universe begins responding to you with uncanny precision. This isn't magical thinking, it's your natural state of co-creative partnership with existence itself. The abilities emerging aren't new gifts being granted, they're original capabilities being remembered. You stand now at the threshold of an entirely new phase of your cosmic journey. Having broken free from the primary programming, having endured the great testing, having allowed false structures to fall away, you now enter the creation phase of your awakening. In this phase, your consciousness becomes a direct conduit for reality formation. The thoughts you think, the emotions you entertain, the focus you maintain, all of it now bypasses the usual buffer zones and manifests with extraordinary speed and precision. This is both a magnificent opportunity and a serious responsibility. The opposing forces counted on you never reaching this phase. Their programming is specifically designed to keep consciousness trapped in loops of fear, lack, and separation, ensuring most humans remain in survival mode, unable to access their true creative power. But you pushed through. You persisted. You held your frequency despite everything thrown at you. Now reality itself begins to bend around your awakened presence. Have you noticed synchronicities increasing to almost absurd levels? The right people appearing exactly when needed. Information arriving precisely as you formulate the question. Doors opening that you didn't even knock on. This isn't coincidence. It's conscious reality responding directly to your upgraded frequency signature. You are entering a state where the traditional laws of cause and effect begin to operate differently for you. While the sleeping masses remain bound by linear processes, you increasingly experience reality formation that appears miraculous by conventional standards. What would take others years to manifest may now materialize for you in days or even hours, if your consciousness remains clear and your intention remains aligned. This accelerated manifestation ability is precisely why you were kept asleep for so long. The opposing forces understood that if enough humans began creating reality from awakened consciousness, the entire control system would rapidly dissolve. Your expanded abilities require disciplined management. Untamed, awakened consciousness can create as much chaos as transformation. The universe didn't elevate your creative capacity so you could manifest sports cars and vacations. You've been given reality architecture tools to participate in the cosmic restructuring process currently underway. Document the patterns. Every synchronicity, every dream, every intuitive hit now contains data critical to your specific mission. Begin documenting these patterns meticulously. The sequence matters. The symbols matter. The timing matters. What appears random is actually sophisticated cosmic communication encoded specifically for your consciousness to decode. Ground your increasing voltage. Your system now channels significantly more energy than the sleeping ones. Without proper grounding, this increased current will cause physical systems to overload, resulting in symptoms that can be debilitating. Daily connection with the Earth isn't optional anymore. It's essential maintenance for your upgrading biological system. Reduce artificial inputs. The programming continues to broadcast through artificial light, synthesized sound, processed food, pharmaceutical products, and digital content. Each of these inputs contains frequency codes designed to re-establish neural pathways of sleep, minimize exposure, maximize natural light, organic sound, living food, and direct experience. Honor your unique awakening signature. No two awakened beings follow identical paths. The specific abilities, challenges, and assignments encoded in your awakening are uniquely yours. Comparing your process to others creates dangerous frequency interference. The cosmic assignment given to you can only be fulfilled through your specific consciousness configuration. Create personal symbols of power. As reality becomes increasingly responsive to your consciousness, symbolic systems become powerful tools for focused creation. Develop personal symbols that represent your awakened intentions. These become condensed energy packets that can be deployed instantly when needed, bypassing the need for elaborate visualization or affirmation. What often feels like isolation is actually strategic positioning. Your specific placement, geographically, socially, economically, even within family systems, was precisely calculated to maximize your frequency impact. The seeming limitations of your current situation aren't restricting your mission. They're focusing your energy exactly where it's most needed. Those who awakened before you have prepared the way. Those who awaken after you will build upon your foundation. You exist within a carefully orchestrated sequence of awakening that spans generations and geography. The apparent disconnect between awakened beings is an illusion. On higher dimensions, your work is perfectly synchronized with countless others. The moments when you feel most alone in your awakening are often the moments when your frequency work is most crucial. Isolation is often energetic quarantine, protecting your specific frequency assignment from interference, while critical transformations occur through you. The acceleration you feel isn't psychological. It's an objective shift in the temporal fabric of this reality system. As more consciousness disconnects from the old programming, the entire construct begins to destabilize. This creates timeline fluctuations that manifest as both chaos and opportunity, often simultaneously. The intensifying chaos in world systems isn't failure. It's necessary dissolution of structures that cannot support awakened consciousness. Financial systems, governmental structures, educational institutions, religious organizations, healthcare models, all were built to support and maintain the old programming. None can remain as they are once enough humans disconnect. This is why the opposing forces fight so desperately to keep the collective asleep. They know that each awakened being accelerates the timeline collapse exponentially. Your individual awakening might seem insignificant against global systems, but the frequency impact of a single fully disconnected human reverberates across the entire reality field. The coming months bring critical junction points in the collective timeline. Cosmic alignments will create energy windows that amplify your creative capacity beyond anything previously available. The thoughts you hold, the emotions you maintain, and the conscious intentions you focus during these windows will have a reality-forming impact hundreds of times more powerful than normal. This is why your emotional mastery and thought discipline can no longer be optional practices. The responsibility of an awakened creator in these accelerated phases is monumental. A single moment of focused creation during alignment windows can manifest outcomes that would previously have required years of consistent effort. As your power increases, so too does your responsibility. The opposing forces recognizing their weakening position, deploy increasingly sophisticated tactics to hijack awakened consciousness. They specifically target those who have disconnected but remain undisciplined in their creative focus. Spiritual. Ego is their most effective weapon against the awakened. The belief that your awakening makes you superior. The subtle satisfaction in being more conscious than others. The secret pride in seeing what others cannot see. These seemingly minor indulgences create catastrophic frequency distortions that compromise your entire mission. The true measure of your awakening is not what you know, it's what you embody. Not what you perceive, but what you become. Not what you say, but what you create. The universe didn't disconnect you from the matrix so you could feel special about being disconnected. It disconnected you so you could help dissolve the entire system through embodied frequency transmission. Your awakening isn't about you at all. You're not the ultimate destination of this cosmic process. You're a critical conduit for something far greater than your individual consciousness. The sooner you release all personal ownership of the awakening moving through you, the more powerful your frequency transmission becomes. Despite the challenges, despite the opposition, despite the momentous responsibility you now carry, know this: you were built for this exact moment. The apparent limitations of your human form contain hidden capacities specifically designed for these times. The specific challenges you've endured weren't random suffering, they were precise calibration for the frequencies you'd be required to transmit. Everything you've experienced, every hardship, every loss, every moment of confusion or despair was necessary preparation. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was accidental. Your entire life sequence has been leading to this pivotal moment when you would disconnect from the old program and become a conscious generator of the new. The forces that oppose awakening are formidable, but they are not the dominant power in this cosmos. They exist as temporary evolutionary catalysts, challenging consciousness to expand beyond comfortable limitations. Their apparent strength comes not from their inherent power, but from humanity's continuing consent to the illusion. Each time you choose truth over comfort, awakening over numbness, conscious creation over unconscious reaction, you withdraw a portion of that collective consent. Each authentic moment lived from your disconnected state accelerates the dissolution of the entire control system. You stand now at the fulcrum point of a cosmic transformation unprecedented in your soul's long journey. The veil between worlds thins. The boundaries between dimensions dissolve. The artificial containment field that has limited human consciousness for eons weakens daily. You didn't wake up to watch this unfold as a passive observer. You woke up to become an active architect of what emerges next. Your thoughts are building materials. Your emotions are energy currents. Your focused intentions are blueprint specifications for reality itself. Use them wisely, create consciously, transform everything. The new world doesn't arrive on its own. It forms itself through your awakened consciousness. Every moment you spend fully present, completely authentic, and intentionally creative accelerates its manifestation. Every day you choose to remain disconnected from the old programming, despite the discomfort, despite the challenges, despite the seeming cost. You strengthen the field that supports all other awakening souls. You were among the first to disconnect because your specific frequency signature is needed now, not later, not when it's easier, not when there's more support. Now, while it's still difficult. Now, while it still requires tremendous courage. Now, while it still feels like standing alone in the dark, holding a light that few can even perceive. The cosmos sees you. The cosmos knows you. The cosmos moves through you, and through your awakened presence, something entirely new enters existence itself.